Hello, yogis. Welcome to our second day of our 7-day chakra balancing. My name is Alissa Yoga, and I will be leading you through our sequence today. Make sure you follow us every day. Leave a comment at the end of this video and tell us how you like the flow. Let's get started. So come to standing. Big toes touch at the top of the mat. Hands come to the center of the chest. Palms press. You might close your eyes or look at a spot on the floor that's not moving here. Notice your breath. And as you're breathing here, just mention a few things to keep in the back of your mind during our practice with our attention on the sacral chakra. The chakra is located right above the root. It sits between the hips, about a few inches underneath the belly. This chakra is in charge of our creativity, our passions in life. As you continue to breathe here, you might even imagine, if you would like, the color orange. This is the color that represents this energy center in our body. Very nice. Now exhale. Bring your hands down in front of you. Open the eyes. Lift your arms up and back. A slight back bend. Legs are straight. Hips slightly forward to protect the low back. Now fold. Hands come down on either side of the feet. Step your right foot back. Drop onto the knee. Gaze up. Now the left foot steps back. We'll come down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to up dog, knees lifted, gaze is lifted, shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Now here you can bend your knees, maybe bring your head a little bit closer to the mat to stretch the shoulders instead of the hamstrings. Now press into the hands, gaze forward. Step the right foot up. Drop onto the left knee, gaze is lifted. Left foot to meet the right. And then rise up, palms press, gaze is up and back. And hands come down. Up and back one more time. And come down. Step the left foot back, drop onto the knee, gaze up. Right foot meets the left, knees, chest, chin. Natural curvature here. Now upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. This down dog, let the legs be straight, stretching the backs of the legs instead of the shoulders. Your heels might hover, they might touch the ground, either way's fine. Take one more breath. Step the left foot forward. Drop onto your back knee. Right foot meets the left. And then rise up, lean up and back. Hands come down. So now we're going to start our moon salutations, which is a great sequence to release this creativity within us in the second chakra. So lift the arms up overhead. Press your palms, cross the thumbs. Straighten the legs, activate the quads. Make your thighs tight. Now inhale up out of the waist, and exhale, lean over to the right side. Press the palms together. Try to keep your limbs straight. Find some length across the left side of the body. Now bring the right hand down the right thigh. Reach up and over. Now come back up to center. Press the palms together. Cross the opposite thumb on top. Straighten the limbs. Look straight ahead of you. Now lean over to the left side. Find length along the side of the body. Chin is lifted. You might let the left hand fall down the leg. Reach a little further. Now come back up to center. This time we're going to cactus the arms, 90 degrees. Lift the chest, lift the chin, slight back bend here. And re-extend the arms up. Step the right foot back, 4 feet. You're in star pose. Arms are out wide. Legs are out wide as well. Now turn your toes out towards the short edges of the mat. Bend the knees deeply, bend your elbows. Goddess pose. Breathe. We'll re-extend to star. Right toes turn towards the back of the mat. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, enter Trikonasana or triangle pose. Hand can come to a block, your shin, or your foot. Now we'll move to extended side angle. Right forearm to the right thigh. Extend the left arm overhead. Or option to bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Keep reaching. Trying to create a straight line from the outer edge of your back foot all the way out through the fingertips. And exhale. Hand on either side of your foot. Pivot towards the back of the mat. Take a step forward. Square off the hips. And fold. Pyramid pose. Both legs are straight. Navel's in. Breathe. Very nice. Now, bring the back knee down to the ground, low lunge. First option is to interlace fingers on top of the thigh or up overhead. Breathe. And now we'll use the hands to support us as we move towards Skandasana. Right knee is bent deeply. You might have the hand supporting you, lifting the hips a little higher here. If you can, sink the hips down. The left heel is on the mat. The toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Hands to the center of the chest, or take a bind. Inhale and exhale. Slowly release. Hands to the mat. Walk yourself to the middle. Now heel toe the feet so they're a little bit closer. We're coming into Malasana, garland pose, a low squat. Knees bent deeply, hands pressed together. The arms are inside the legs. Inhale and exhale. Here's our transition. Lift the hips up again. Pivot the toes back out. We'll return to Skandasana, this time at the top of the mat. Your heel is down, toes are up. Maybe hands to the center of the chest or supporting you, or take a bind. Inhale and exhale. Use the hands, release. Pivot to the top of the mat. Drop onto your back knee. Interlace fingers top of the thigh or up overhead. Breathe. Now bring both hands down, square off the hips, straighten both legs, fold. Feeling the stretch along the back side of the legs. We'll return to extended side angle, left hand to the inside of the foot or forearm on the thigh. Extend the right arm up overhead. Now straighten the left leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Core is in tight, rise back up. Pivot the front foot, star pose. Turn the feet out. Exhale, bend all the limbs, goddess. Re-extend, inhale, star. Step to the top of the mat. That's the end of our moon salutation. So we'll do it one more time on the other side. Inhale, lift the arms up. Cross the thumbs, reach over to the right side. Maybe the right hand comes down. Breathe. Back up to center, inhale, opposite thumb on top, and over to the left. Left hand comes down. And re-extend up. Goalpost the arms, lift your chest. Straight legs, mini back bend. Now re-extend and step the left foot back, star pose. So same sequence, just moving the opposite way. Turn out the feet, bend the elbows, goddess. Re-extend for star. Pivot towards the back of the mat. Inhale, reach, and triangle pose. Gazes up towards your lifted hand. Now bring the left hand to the inside of the foot or on the thigh. Extend the right arm overhead. Reach long, extended side angle. Now both hands come down either side of the front foot. Take a step, square off the hips, and fold. Now bring your back knee down to the mat again. Rise up for your low lunge. Maybe interlace fingers on the thigh instead. Hands come back down. We'll pivot, Skandasana on this side. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Maybe open the arms up and take that bind. Option to grab fingertips or the wrist. Now release the arms. Use the hands for support. Come to the center of the mat, heel toe your feet. Malasana. Hands in prayer, elbows to the insides of the thighs. Now plant the hands, lift the hips, heel toe the feet back out. Low lunge on the other side, this Skandasana. So bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, take that bind. And in these binds, if you don't know which hand grabs the wrist, it's always the hand that's reaching around a limb that grabs. So I remember this by thinking the reacher is the grabber. Just a little help for you. Now use the hands, come back towards the top of your mat, bring the back knee down and lift up, or hands on the thigh instead. Continue to breathe. And both hands come down. Tuck the back toes, lift the hips, straighten both legs, pyramid, fold. Now bring the right hand to the inside of the foot, left foot back, or the forearm to the thigh. Get long through the side body. And we'll press that right leg straight, lift the arm, lift the gaze. Breathe. Inhale, cores in tight, come back to star pose. Turn the toes out. Exhale, bend the elbows, the knees. Goddess. Now re-extend, take up space. Step back to the top of your mat. Very nice. So we'll bring the feet a little bit wider here. We'll return to Malasana for our first main posture. So for many of us, we need to lift the heels. Completely fine. Use your hands if you need to here. You can also bring a block under your hips if that helps. If you're fine, try to make sure your feet are parallel or as parallel as you can get them. Press the palms, press the elbows into the legs. Breathe. Now bring the hands down, lift your hips up. Half Titibhasana pose. So bring the right arm underneath the right leg. You can use this little L shape with your hand to move your calf a little bit. Bend that knee as much as you need to. And then bring the right hand either to your bum or grab the left wrist and straighten the legs. Gaze up over the left shoulder. Slowly release the pose. We'll return to our low squat Malasana, but this time we're taking a different variation. So this time, extend the arms out, tuck your chin, really round here. Let this feel nice. If you're feeling stressed, let that weight just roll off your shoulders as you tap into more of your creativity with this second chakra flow. Now lift the hips again. Bring the left arm and that little L shape underneath the left calf and bend your knee as much as you need to get the shoulder underneath your leg. Now, left hand can grab your bum or you can grab the fingertips or the wrist. If you're pretty close to getting this bind here with the wrists, a little trick is to grab your, maybe leggings or shirt and walk your hands together. That helps. Good, and slowly release. Both hands down, we'll sway side to side for a minute. And then come back up before we take our last fold in this sequence. So for our last fold, you can take either of the previous ones, wrapping on the right and then at the left, or you can really bend your knees, bring both hands beneath the calves, and tuck your shoulders underneath your calves as much as you're able. You can keep the legs bent and you can stay here. First place, grab your bum, or interlace fingers at your low back and start to straighten your legs. Now, the first instinct is to look straight behind you. Try to tuck your chin as you straighten the legs more. Breathe. If you're shaking or feel something in your legs supporting you, you're doing it right. Slowly release. Maybe bend the knees. It's an intense pose, so hands on the thighs, slowly rise up. Good. Now we're going to take our first arm balance, and that is Titibhasana, going along with our sequence here. So if you're new to this pose, just do as much as you can, and if anything feels out of line for your body, just skip it, or just go to your level today. So hands will first come between the legs, plant behind the heels. The palms are planted. You might stay here. If it's okay, extend the right leg forward, maybe the left, round through the shoulders. Feel strong. Breathe. And as you're ready, option to transition here by lowering all the way down onto the floor. Extend the palms down and back. Legs out wide, flex the feet. If you can, press the backs of your legs into your arms to get the navel and the chest closer to the mat. Few more slow breaths here. And slowly bend the knees. Release the arms one at a time. And we'll come into cow facing pose. So the right leg actually will stack on top of the left. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, we'll stretch them forward for today. Press the hips back. Maybe relax your chest onto your thighs. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more breaths or so on your own. Feeling each breath come in and out. Coming back to your body, back to yourself, back to your own creativity. Slowly rise up. Let's tap into a little bit of that creativity now with this transition. It's really fun. We're going to rotate over the left shoulder towards the back of the mat for a really wide down dog. So the legs are out wider than the mat, hands at the back of the mat, but I'm going to keep rotating over that left shoulder until I wind up in cow facing pose on the other side. If you're like, Alissa, I just got tangled, just bring the left leg on top for cow facing. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Reach your fingers forward, stretch your hips back. Let this feel really nice. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now slowly release the posture, release the legs. We're going to come into a creative inversion. And so come onto the hands and knees and bring the left forearm to the ground. You're going to cup your head with this hand, the left hand. Now your right hand is going to plant right in line with your left elbow. So we're taking a headstand variation here. You might stay here with the head down, left hand cupping your head, right hand in line with the left elbow. Or if it feels good, tuck the toes, lift the hips like in down dog, you can stay here. You're getting the benefit of the inversion. Or if you'd like, lift one or both legs up and breathe. If you've never tried a headstand like this, how does it feel different than keeping your arms the exact same way? Just notice. Slowly come down. Child's pose. Bring the arms back along your sides. Forehead gently rests. Palms face up. You might even rock side to side with the head a little bit. Just letting everything settle. Good. Now we'll come back up. We're going to try it on the other side. So the right forearm will plant, the right hand will cup the back of your head, and the left hand will come in line with the right elbow. So same thing. Get your head on the ground to start. Cup your head with that right hand, left hand in place. Maybe tuck the toes. You can stay here, or option to lift. Breathe. Everything's strong. And slowly release. Child's pose. Forehead rests. Hands back by your sides. Let all effort go in this pose. Now bring both hands forward. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. We're going to look towards the top of our mat and take a few steps and then sit down on our mat. Okay, so once you're in seated, come onto your back, lie down, and extend both legs. First place is here. We're moving towards putting our leg behind our head. Don't let that scare you. I'm going to show you the first level of this pose. First level, you just cross the right ankle over the left thigh, interlace fingers behind that thigh or in front of the shin, pull the legs in. First place, simple. If you'd like a little bit more, you can start to bring the big toe towards the space between the eyebrows. Or if you're ready, or you've been working on it, bring your right knee out to the right, and you'll just lift your head up and tuck your foot behind your head. Now, the thing I see most people struggle with is they'll have their right shoulder out, and then they'll go like this, trying to get their leg behind their head. It'll never happen, right? So make sure your right arm is in front of your knee and tuck your foot. Now, as you're getting a hold of this posture, you might hold on to the left foot the whole time. Completely good. If you can, release and just press back with your head. Let it feel nice. Option to stay here, or we're going to plant our hands, plant our foot, and lift our hips. Press your head into your leg. This is one pose that will really start to help your leg behind your head, really stretch your hips, really unleash those creative powers that live within you. Nice. That's what our second chakra, the sacral chakra, is all about. Lie back down and release. Good. However you took that pose was perfect. It was exactly what you needed today. So Let any judgment go, and let's stay in this creative state. Bring the left ankle over the right thigh. Interlace fingers behind the right thigh or in front of the shin, like before. Or big toe, space between the eyebrows. If you're ready for it, the left leg out to the side. Tuck the foot behind your head. Make sure that left shoulder's in front of your leg. And once you have it, press the head and neck back. Gaze at the ceiling. Breathe. And if this is good, you'll plant the hands, plant your foot, and lift the hips up. Press your head into your leg. And the breath is always natural. If you ever find yourself in a pose and you can't breathe, come out of it. It's a sign that you need to chill. Slowly release, hips back down. And we'll release the leg. So now we're going to take a shoulder stand pose. Before this pose, I like to bring my legs behind my head, not like we just did, but straight back behind my head in Halasana or plow. Many of you know this pose. Toes come back. They might hover. That's fine. Hands can come to your low back. Now, the reason why I like to come here first is to walk the elbows in. If that's okay, do so. Hands supporting the low back. Now, one or both legs at a time, lift up. Straighten, point the toes, breathe. There should be a little bit of space between your chin and your chest so you can breathe. Nice. Now slowly bring the toes beyond your head. Interlace fingers. Back to plow pose. So something in plow pose that we might forget is our legs are still engaged. Many times I see students like this, just like hanging out, legs doing whatever. No, keep them tight, keep them working. Use your power in your postures. Nice, now separate the legs. We're going to move to Karna Pindasana or Deaf Man's Pose. Put a deep bend in both knees, and your knees will come on either side of your ears, right next to the shoulders. You can grab the heels to encourage the knees to the floor. But if they don't touch yet, or even tomorrow or the next day, it's fine. Maybe hands come to the mat, palms down. Hands back to the low back for support. Straighten your legs. Lift both legs up. Now, come into lotus. Right heel on top of the left thigh. Left heel on top of the right thigh. If this is too much for your knees or hips, take a diamond shape instead. If you're in the diamond shape, hands stay where they are on your low back. If you're in lotus, hands to the legs, thighs, straighten the arms. Imagine you're sitting on the ceiling. Now, if you're in lotus, you're going to tuck the shins towards your face. Wrap the arms around the legs, maybe grab fingers. If you are in the diamond shape, bring the soles of the feet together. Bring the knees towards your forehead. If there's no pain or strain in your neck, one hand to the shin, the other hand to the shin. You're simply floating on your shoulders. Like magic. Now hands back to your low back if they're anywhere else. Slowly support yourself. If you're coming from the diamond shape, your legs will be straight as you come down. If you're coming from lotus, keep your legs in lotus. Palms underneath the glutes, forearms down. Lift your chest and drop the head. Hips stay down, chest is lifted. You might close the eyes as you breathe here. Also an option in lotus to grab the big toes with the fingers and the thumbs. Slowly release the pose. Come up to a seated place. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, breathing in all the benefits of your yoga practice today. And exhale, let go. Inhale, breathe in more creativity, passion, prana, or this life force energy. Exhale, let go of fatigue or anything that takes away from your goodness, your spark. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Feeling more open, mind, body, and spirit. Definitely feeling more aligned in our sacral chakra. On your next inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Gaze is lifted. And exhale, bring the hands to the center of the chest. Deep inhale here. And exhale. The good in me bows to and recognizes the good in each of you. Namaste.